Catherine. Good to see you. I am just going to wait for a moment to make sure that everyone is able to come through. If you could leave me a comment in real time to let me know that you're here. Good morning. Hi, Mom. Okay, we got 2 coffee cups. I hope one of those is for me. Anyways, good morning, good morning. Today is Feel the Feels Wednesday. Everyone's afraid of this day. This one's actually my favorite one. I love it. So I'm gonna wait for the hearts to start flowing. I'm gonna wait for the comments to come in so I know that I can dive in. Yay. Hearts, hearts, hearts. Let me know. Give me a comment in real time. There they are. Woohoo! I see the hearts starting to go. Good morning, Amanda. Okay, good morning. Taking a deep inhale, breathing in. Deep exhale. Good morning, Catherine. Okay, we are here. I just wanted to pause for a moment before diving in because sometimes people get stuck out of the live and then they come in and have missed part of it. So wanted to make sure we're all here together. Yes, hearts are flowing. Boom. All right, welcome to Feel the Feels Wednesday. Here we go. So today I have a very interesting topic, okay? Hey girl, hey, you caught me live. Hi Lynn, good to see you. Okay, so today we are talking about the difference between being triggered and feeling your feelings. This is a powerful topic, okay? Here's the thing. We are afraid of feeling feelings. And especially when we've been processing trauma or we're trying to work on ourselves, what happens is we are learning how to self-regulate. We're not learning how to feel. And sometimes we learn self-regulation in an unhealthy direction. And that can look like disassociating. That can look like not calming, but detaching. Now, I talk a lot about detaching, and when I talk about detaching, I'm talking about don't live in expectation, right? Don't be an expectation. But when it comes to emotions, detaching means not caring. And it sets you in a place of being unemotional. And you know what? That can feel better than feeling your feelings. And I'm going to argue this point, okay? When you are triggered, there might be a lot of response happening in you, but it isn't real emotion of your feelings because you didn't actually come to a response in emotion. You're having a response in trigger, and that usually isn't something that's real in real time in the moment. It's something in the past that has happened. You are not with us in the moment. You're somewhere else. And so emotion that we need to release is in the moment, in real time. Now we go back in time to start feeling things. Sure, that's great. And we're trying to process and heal and mend, right? But I had an episode this week called Frozen. We've been talking a lot about it. And this idea of frozen waters, right? And what we think needs to happen in order to melt those waters is that we have to go relive every triggered response to our trauma that we have stuffed down deep inside. And that isn't the case, okay? We need to feel our emotions that we have stuffed deep down. And here's the thing. When we are having a triggered response, a triggered reaction, typically it's going to show up as anxiety, depression, okay? There's gonna be a few key themed emotional states that we will go to, right? We might have shortness of breath. We might be feeling like we are actively in that moment right there. Like whatever it is, you know it because it feels like home to you, okay? Here's the thing. I'm gonna change the song. Yeah, let's go here. Okay, here's the thing. When you are feeling real feelings, the ones that melt those waters, okay, they're gonna feel worse than your trigger. Because your trigger, you know how to get out of that. You know how to detach, meditate. Okay, I see so many people meditate out into detachment and being cold and not caring. That isn't meditation, right? That isn't what that is. It shouldn't be. Not when you are in a healthy, regulated emotional system. When you are trying to heal your emotional system, when you're trying to self-regulate and you're really getting into it, it's gonna feel worse. It's gonna feel like you're going backwards, like you are completely messing up your life way worse than it ever has. And here's the thing, if you think about it, okay, our triggers, we are feeling such a small window of emotion. Now, those emotions might feel big, right? And those reactions, like anxiety's right here. Depression, whatever response, it doesn't have depth, okay? When we are really feeling our feelings, when we're really getting in there, there's contrast, okay? There's a range. You open yourselves up to so much more emotion than you might even realize is possible. And I'm not talking about opening yourself up to more reaction. And I see this sometimes where it's like, oh, I want to start healing myself. So I'm going to go and rage, right? I'm going to go rage cry. I'm going to go kick it out on my bed. I'm going to go do this. That isn't feeling your feelings. That's triggered reaction. And if you think about it, think about how children are expressing their emotions. It is a tantrum. I got 2 toddlers in my house, okay? They're mine. There's a lot of just punching, kicking, not understanding what is going on, what you're feeling. It's yelling, it's fighting, it's I don't know why, right? And just manic, right? And that's okay for toddlers, right? Usually our triggers bring us back to that state. But our emotions, I want you to think about real feelings here. The feelings, they're complex. That's where a teenager may walk in. That's where an adult walks in. And I want you to start thinking about your feelings as adults. I'm gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna be able to communicate. There's gonna be a thought process. There's gonna be a reason why. It's not going to be an I don't know, kick it out and scream it out. That isn't going to help you. So when you're looking at freezing or that frozen water and you're looking at trying to unfreeze that water, you need to look at it through the lens of an adult. Because that's where you are today. And that's what's happening today. Not every feeling should bring you back to when you were a toddler. We have to start feeling a complex contrast of emotion. We have to start developing this skill. And it will feel worse because my toddlers don't understand every complexity of emotion, do they? There's like happiness, sadness, anger, right? It's just these like 4 main groups. When you become an adult, you can feel contrast in the same moment. I feel this every night when they go to bed. It's like a Oh, I'm so proud of them. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that they're growing, and I'm so devastated that it's going so fast. And it's like this heartwarming tear that falls. I'm not triggered into time being lost and me kicking it out, being so upset on how fast time flies. It's deeper than that. And I want you to start to really ask yourself the depth, the contrast of your feeling. What's the story that that feeling has brought to you today? Okay? Here we go. I want you to take a deep, deep breath. Exhale. I'm going to change the song in a minute. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Right now, I want you to think, not feel. I want you to think. When was the last time you felt a feeling where you knew exactly why you were upset? It was in real time. Here is the thing, when you are feeling emotions in the moment, they feel worse in the moment, but then they leave. You do not stay trapped in the emotion of the moment. You do not get crippled. It is painful, and there is release. There is relief in the moment of release. You are afraid of getting trapped because you have only known your triggers. You have only known your mimicked emotion. You cannot get trapped in your authentic release of feeling. And so today, I want you to allow yourself to feel. What are you feeling? What are you feeling right now? And that means you have to be in the moment. That means you have to be in the now with me. Use your senses. Use your eyes, your ears, your smell. Use them to bring you back to the moment. What are you responding to today? And get upset today. Because guess what? If you do not know the complexity of emotion in pain, you will not know the complexity of emotion in the beauty, in the hope, in the love, and you will never be able to access it because you will never have a moment in your childhood to bring you to. You will only have few seconds of joy. It is so difficult for adults to connect to the feeling of being a child, of joy. So if you are not happy, I could gather you are not in the moment, which is why the moment is so important. And if you are not able to experience pain in the moment, you will never know what happiness is, what fulfillment is, what love is. Because you must first understand the pain as someone who has emotional pain stuffed away. You are not coming here to me today asking, how do I release all of my stuffed down emotions of love and joy? You are asking, how do I feel relief? And I have stuffed down emotions of pain. You must feel worse before you have a shot at feeling love, at feeling hope, at feeling fulfillment. So are you brave enough to melt your ice? Are you brave enough to experience a real feeling? Because when you are triggered, when you are in the response of your trauma, you are not feeling anything real. You are not releasing your waters. You are freezing them even more, which is why they call it frozen in flight or fright or freeze. And so right now, When you are stepping into getting warm, you need to remember that you might think you are expressing all of your emotion because you are feeling triggered every direction. But your triggered response is not your release of feeling. And so right now, are you able to access a feeling, a memory of real feeling? And I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you know feeling? Do you have real feeling? Or are you stuck in your trigger? Every time you get looped into a trigger, it takes time to release that trigger. You aren't able to access your real emotion, your real feeling in the moment. And so we need to learn self-regulation, but we also need to learn feeling. And the feelings will make you want to soothe, calm, detach, and that is not what will help you. So right now, has this message triggered you? Feel the feels does not have to be just in lower emotion. It is also allowing yourself to access the greatest feelings of love. And how will you get there if you do not first enter into the contrast of it all? You can't. I was angry with my husband on Saturday, but once we talked about it and I cried, I felt better. You see, communication, that is the adult coming to the moment. Communication is so important. Last night I felt sad about a situation. I felt it and it was gone in a minute. I was detached from the situation, didn't try to solve it. So I'm going to ask you this. Did you detach from it from the expectation? Or did you detach in emotion and not care? Because it can feel better here. But I don't feel anything, do I? And then we wonder, well, I feel relief, I process that emotion, but how come I can't feel joy? How come I can't feel happy? What's going on? Here's the thing. The best way to start feeling your real feelings is with movement. Because you're scared of your emotion, you're scared of your feelings, you're scared of getting trapped. And so here is the thing. You need to release that feeling. In the movement, your body will be able to protect itself more in movement from going into trigger than when you are still. If you are moving and you have music flowing, it is way harder to get triggered. It's way harder to keep that trigger because the vibration of the music is helping you. The movement, the grounding, everything that happens during movement is helping your body regulate back to the moment. It also gives you a time frame. I'm gonna walk 10 minutes that way, 10 minutes back, and here we go. When you are in movement, it's okay if you slip into the toddler part of your feeling. It's okay because you have safety of the movement, okay? And you bring it back to the moment. You have a conversation. You communicate in your mind. You communicate about it. You get the conversation out. You don't sit in the story, okay? The story can be very, very dangerous, okay? Because the story brings you back in time. Remember when that happened. That's probably why they don't like you, right? That isn't communication. Communication is in the moment. I am upset that you said that thing. I am upset at you because it made me feel this way. And you see, when you have communication, you can't talk about something that long. okay? It really doesn't last that long. Stories, you can spend a lifetime listening to that story of you. And you know what? That's the story that we're changing. I have trouble processing my feelings with my toddler. I'm scared of letting the feeling out in front of him. Let me tell you, motherhood, when you have emotional pain and trauma, will trigger you every moment of every day, because toddlers have a million emotions and we're uncomfortable in that. We have never been allowed to express those emotions. And there's a shh, 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 shh inside of us that wants to come out, like just shh, 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 be quiet, stop it, just let me think, right? And it's normal, okay? It's normal. And also, it's a different motherhood journey. When you have that inside, you have to spend that much more time in yourself than if you weren't on the motherhood journey dealing with this pain, right? We have to learn how to regulate safely and also realize that you're not doing anything wrong. Kids are going to trigger everything in you. And also, it's the noise, it's the loudness. It's everything. It's everything. And it's also an inability to control anything, because I cannot control my kids and I don't want to. But we were controlled, weren't we? And so you're going against every part of your DNA, every part of your belief system, what you've been taught. And change is so difficult when you have a lot of pain and when you have a lot of repressed emotions, right? So I would say you might need to do some movement without your kid on that walk so you could really unleash it, so you can really feel like you're not in that mommy mode, right? And yes, still walk with your kid, because that's helpful, right? Okay, now I want to leave us with some hope today, okay? Hearts are flowing. Here we go. I am willing to believe that possibly, maybe, I can feel my feelings in real time. And when I feel my real feelings in real time, they don't last very long. In fact, I challenge you to feel a feeling that you're really upset about in the moment for longer than 2 minutes. For longer than 2 minutes. You probably won't be able to when you're in movement. When you're like, I can't believe he said that thing. Oh my goodness, then that was effed up. And then you start thinking about other things because you're releasing it. You're not stuffing it, right? And I want you to be very careful about detachment when it comes to feelings, because not caring and choosing not to care anymore is the frozen water. And it can appear as relief. I am excited to hear from you when you digest this some more. Maybe you're gonna go on your walk and be like, and get some feelings about this live or me or whatever, but process it, digest it. Let's continue the conversation, okay? Go back, listen to Frozen again. Go and find me in the Modern Soul Society Facebook group. Let's continue the conversation there, or even in the comments here, okay? I love you. And I'm gonna be showing up here to help you on this journey. But maybe the hope piece is, if you feel like your life is feeling worse when you start trying to feel emotion, it's because you haven't really felt the complexity of that emotion before. And so maybe you should celebrate it and not be afraid of it. Anyways, I love you, and I'll see you soon.